Talk to Robert today because I think that your story is so remarkable and that somebody might be saved by hearing you.
Very well.
Okay, very well. Let's do it. So you've relapsed publicly several times before.
Every time I've relapsed, it's been publicly.
What do you think's different about this time?
Well, essentially, and I would say this to anybody, is that, you know, it's really, it's easy to embrace hopelessness when things seem insurmountable. And yet, it's actually just a matter of time until all of the elements come together for things to be all right. I mean, I believe that, you know, most difficult situations will resolve themselves if you are persistent and if you don't give up entirely. And that's what I never did. I never gave up.
Do you still get urges to do drugs?
I have not even an inkling of a desire, but I guard against that.
That's pretty amazing, actually. Yeah. Do you worry about relapsing again?
Oh, no.
No.
No problem.
No.
Well, yeah, the thought is terrifying, but rather than living in fear of something that is within the realm of control, provided I don't imagine I'm running the show and that I don't get into a position where I start becoming narcissistic and I'm not vigilant anymore and I don't do the things that...
And by vigilant, it means what? Every day you've got to...
Well, sometimes, you know, sometimes every day is a problem too, because here's what I tend to do. I'm either, you know, as what you saw, that beginning clip, and thank you, very glamorous, I appreciate that. Or I also can tend to become so regimented and uptight that people are like, hey, Grandma, should we just put a shawl around you? Why are you so... Because then I'm thinking, I've got to get this right. And either extreme is disastrous, you know, so I try to just give myself a break.
Okay, so tell me, it's in your family, because we've all read that you were given your first pot at 7 years old?
I think it was 7, 8, or 9, and you know, it's so funny because, and here's the great thing, is that the buck gets to stop here, is, you know, again, I become a little bit right-wing about the whole thing, and I think if my son Indio, if I caught him smoking a joint, you know, after the soccer game on the field, I would lock him down. And, you know, kind of like Judge Myra said, I'm going to incarcerate you in a way that is very uncomfortable, as opposed to incarcerate me in a way that's pleasant.
This is what I was thinking. I thought when he said that it meant you were not going to some kind of cushy prison, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you went to the real deal.
I did.
Did you ever see Manson?
No, it would have been fun.
Yeah.
I heard that he played guitar and someone didn't like the way he played guitar and they smashed it. I said, I wouldn't smash Manson's guitar.
No. Robert says he's been addicted to drugs since he was about, what, 8 years old?
That's when, yeah, it started that long ago.
And then marijuana was a part of your daily family life growing up.
It was a staple like rice.
Like rice. Carbs. Okay, here we go.
Well, I actually had really good parents, and they were kind of square in a lot of ways, and they were very highly ideal people and artists and did their very best. But I think it was a cultural thing at that time.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
But you started smoking crack cocaine.
1995.
1995.
Yeah.
And something called black tar heroin. What is that?
It's something that feels really good and should be avoided at all costs.
Really?
Yes.
It's like a stronger form of heroin than regular heroin?
I don't know about the stronger forms. I just know that that's what I came across in a situation where it's like, hey, here's kind of what we're doing. And I'm looking, there's, you know, my friends, my peers, people who don't seem insane. And they're like, yeah, we're just doing a little of this. And I was like, great. Boy, that feels really good. I would like to do that every 20 minutes for the next, you know. And that's how it happened. It was literally the first time.
Really?
I had no...
You were hooked the first time?
I think so. I had no intention of making my private life and my career so very difficult. And yet I believe, you know, as I sit here today, that I hope it's for some higher purpose, you know?
Yeah. Okay.
Imaginary. Very disconcerting.
Yeah. What was going on?
Cocaine psychosis. That's just, it's one of the things that happens. It's tough stuff. But yeah, that's what was going on with me naked driving around with the rats.
Do you remember the incident where we just had that 911 call where you ended up in a stranger's bed?
That was my house.
That was...
Oh, no, it wasn't. It was theirs.
That was there?
Listen, I'm not, you know, these are common mistakes you make when you're struggling with alcoholism and drug addiction.
So were you
drugs and
alcohol? You would do drugs and alcohol?
Yeah, alcohol wasn't really my thing, but, you know, it's kind of all the same thing. If you are leaning on something, anything that you attempt to control is something that you probably have a problem with, you know? And so when someone says, you know, I really wonder if maybe I should go to rehab. Well, you're a wreck, you just lost your job and your wife left you. You might want to give it a shot.
Yeah.